Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome back to our chemistry class SS2 prepared by Abdulkadir Hamza. The content of today's lecture, we are going to see carbon and its organic compound. We are going to see oxide of carbon, trioxocarbonate acid and salt, property of some common trioxocarbonate. 4. Uses of some trioxocarbonate for salt. So carbon as an element and in compound, carbon exists as an element and compound. Then allotropes. What is allotropes? Allotrope is the existence of element in two or more form having the same but different physical property. We have allotropes. Allotropes are the different form of element. Example of allotropes of carbon, we have diamond and graphite. So let's see what the structure of diamond and properties and the uses of the allotropes of carbon. So diamond atoms are arranged in tetrahedron. So in tetrahedral structure of diamond, the atom in the diamond are arranged in tetrahedron. Carbon atom are joined in strong covalent bond. So in the diamond, the bond between the atom is covalent, strong covalent, resulting in three-dimensional giant structure. So that is the structure of diamond. Then in graphite, carbon atoms are arranged in parallel layer. So this is also served as difference between carbon and graphite. So the covalent bond within layer are strong also in graphite. Then the covalent between the layer are very weak and non-covalent. So these are the structure, or you can call it the difference between diamond and the graphite in the structure. So in the property, the difference is that hard and transparent. The property of diamond is very hard. As a result, diamond is the most hardest substance in the world. As a result, there is no other element that can cut diamond. We can only use diamond to cut diamond. It's very hard. High melting and boiling point. So since diamond is hard, it must have very high melting and boiling point and boiling. So graphite is soft and black. When we see graphite, the example of graphite I think is what is inside the pencil. So that is what you call graphite. So you see, when we soft means softer than diamond, not softer at all. It's softer than diamond and it is black. So it also have very high melting and boiling point. Conductor of electricity. Diamond does not conduct electricity, but graphite is a good conductor of electricity. So diamond are used in jewelry maker as tips for cutting, polishing, and grinding tools. So diamond are used in cutting, grinding tools due to its hard nature. So graphite used in pencil a graphite composite as a dry lubricant for mechanic part to make inert electron. So that is the uses and the differences between diamond and graphite. So let's see the destructive distillation of coal. So in the process of producing carbon, carbon are produced in the destructive distillation of coal. This is the process of heating coal at high temperature in the presence of air. The product of destructive distillation of coal are coal gas, coke, coal tar, and ammonium liquid. So when we heat the coal at high temperature, it produces coal gas, coke, coal tar, and ammonium liquid. So what are these product are? Let's see, coal gas. Coal gas is a mixture of gases which include hydrogen, ethane, carbon dioxide. It is used as fuel for heating and as a reducing agent. So since these are gases, it can be used in heating or as a fuel. It is also act as a reducing agent. Then coal tar is a mixture of liquid which include benzene, toluene, naphthalene, and anthracene. It can be separated by fractional distillation. It is used in the production of medicine, dye, explosive, plastic, paint, pesticide, and synthetic fiber. The residue of this is used in road construction. There is waterproof roof. So coal tar normally the asphalt using in the construction of using in construction is the residue of this coal tar. You see, coal tar is black. Then most of the amorphous or allotropes of carbon are black. So carbon itself is black in nature. Ammonia liquid. This is a solution of ammonia in water. There is ammonia plus water to give ammonium ion and base. It is used in the production of ammonium compound. So these are used in production of fertilizer. Coke is the non-volatile residue. It consists of carbon only. It is used as solid fuel, also used as a synthetic gas. So classification of coke is the process which convert coke into usable gaseous fuel, i.e. producer gas and water gas, which are also referred to as synthetic gas. So let's see what producer and we also have water gas is produced when at temperature 10,000 degrees Celsius. Steam is passed over the red hot coke. A mixture of carbon dioxide and water gas is formed. So when we pass this water at this temperature, the temperature is very, very high. So what will result is carbon dioxide and water gas. So this is carbon react with water at high temperature. to give the toxic carbon dioxide and hydrogen gas. The water gas is used directly as fuel, as seen in the equation below. So, in the presence of oxygen, carbon dioxide react with oxygen to give carbon dioxide react with oxygen to give carbon dioxide. Then hydrogen gas also react with oxygen to give water. It is also used in the production of methanol, where water gas react with more hydrogen gas in the presence of oxide of zinc and chromium. Zinc and chromium are the catalysts at the temperature of 450 degrees Celsius and the pressure of 200 atmosphere. Then producer gas in a reactor called the producer hot air containing oxygen is blown from the bottom of an white hot coke. Carbon dioxide is pumped, and as the gas rises through the producer, carbon dioxide react with more carbon, and carbon dioxide is produced. So, in the production of carbon dioxide, incombustible nitrogen from air mixed with carbon dioxide to form a mixture of gases in the ratio 1:2. Carbon dioxide, nitrogen molecule is called the producer gas. So carbon dioxide and the nitrogen are gases. So these are what we call these are the producer gases. So here is the reaction that is happening in the red hot cup. Carbon react with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. Then carbon dioxide react with carbon also to give carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide react with nitrogen to give producer gas. So let's see oxide of carbon. The oxide of carbon, let's see the physical property. Oxide of carbon are carbon dioxide and carbon dioxide. The properties, when we see carbon dioxide is colorless, odorless gas and is poisonous. It is insoluble in water. Carbon dioxide is also colorless, odorless gas. It is denser than air, slightly soluble in water. It's sublime at 38 degrees Celsius. What means by sublime? It from the solid state from the solid state, it changed directly to gases at this temperature. Chemical property: carbon dioxide is a incombustible. It reacts as good reducing agent combined with hemoglobin in the blood to form carboxyhemoglobin. So these are the chemical properties. When you inhale carbon dioxide, this is what is going to happen in your lungs. Carbon dioxide gas is acidic and it's good oxidizing agent. It can be used in oxidizing chemicals or substance. Then uses serve as a reducing agent in the manufacture of some metal. Example: lead, iron from their oxide. Used as a refrigerant or coolant. Carbon dioxide is used as refrigerant or coolant, used to put fizz to carbonated drinks. Carbon dioxide is used in most of these drinks, Coke, all these drinks. Used in a fire extinguisher. So it's also good ambassador in killing fire. So let's see the trioxocarbonate for the acid and the salt. Trioxocarbonate is a weak diabasic acid. What you mean by diabasic? It has two hydrogen in the acid. As we see in the reaction, water react with carbon dioxide to give trioxocarbonate acid. The two hydrogen, the two subscript of hydrogen is the diabasic. What is meant by diabasic? Then the acid dissociate to form hydrogen ion and trioxocarbonate ion. Trioxocarbonate dissociate to form hydrogen ion carbon dioxide. It is acidic radicals react with metal according to the reactivity series to form salt. Property of some common trioxocarbonate for salt. Solubility, action of heat and so potassium and sodium trioxocarbonate are soluble in water and does not decompose on heating. Calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc are insoluble, decompose to metallic oxide and carbon dioxide. E.g., we have calcium carbonate, calcium oxide, plus carbon dioxide. But aluminium oxide does not exist. Aluminium trioxocarbonate does not exist. So all the trioxocarbonate 5 salts react with acid to form salt and water, and carbon dioxide is react with all the trioxocarbonate salt react with acid to form salt and water and carbon dioxide. So that is a property. If an insoluble salt is formed, the reaction does not get to completion, in which the insoluble salt form a coating around the salt and thus prevent further reaction with the acid, and invariably the reaction is stopped. Uses of trioxocarbonate 5 salt. Potassium trioxocarbonate employed in the manufacture of glass. Sodium trioxocarbonate in cleaning, in tiles treatment. Sodium trioxocarbonate is used. It's also used as a food additives. It's also used to control pH of substance. There is nickel trioxocarbonate in the manufacture of ceramic. In the electroplating, we have cobalt trioxocarbonate as a pigment in ceramic company. So this is the end of today's lecture. We shall meet in the next class very soon. Thank you for listening.